Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, written by Mary Shelley in 1818, is one of the most famous novels in English literature. Mary Shelley, born in 1797 in London, was the daughter of two famous writers, philosopher William Godwin and feminist Mary Wollstonecraft, and she later married the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley. She wrote Frankenstein at the young age of 18, inspired by a ghost story challenge during a stormy summer in Switzerland with her husband and friends. The novel is a story about ambition, responsibility, and what it means to be human. It mixes adventure, science, and spooky Gothic elements. Below, we'll break it down into simple parts so you can understand the story step by step. Frankenstein isn't just a monster tale. It's about a scientist named Victor Frankenstein who creates life and then faces the consequences. The story is told through letters and personal accounts, making it feel like you're hearing it from the characters themselves. It starts with a man named Robert Walton, who writes letters to his sister while exploring the icy Arctic. Walton meets Victor, who shares his incredible and tragic story. The story unfolds in three main parts: Victor's creation of the monster's life, and the consequences that follow. Let's see.
1. Victor Frankenstein's dream.
A young scientist's ambition. Victor Frankenstein grows up in Geneva, Switzerland, with a loving family. He's curious about science and nature. After his mother dies, he goes to university and becomes obsessed with discovering the secret of life. He studies old books and experiments with dead bodies. Pretty creepy stuff. Creating the creature. After years of work, Victor builds a creature from body parts and brings it to life using electricity. But when the creature opens its eyes, Victor is horrified by its ugly appearance: yellow eyes, stitched skin, and a giant size. Instead of celebrating, he runs away, abandoning his creation.
2. The creature's lonely life.
Creating the creature. Left alone, the creature doesn't understand the world. He's like a newborn, but everyone he meets screams and runs away because he looks scary. He hides in the woods, learning to survive by watching a poor family through their window. He teaches himself to speak and read by listening to them and finding books, like Paradise Lost. Rejected by everyone. The creature tries to make friends with the family, but they panic and attack him. Hurt and angry, he realizes humans will never accept him. He blames Victor for making him so hideous and decides to find his creator to demand answers.
3. Revenge and tragedy.
The creature's anger. The creature tracks Victor down and tells his sad story. He asks Victor to make him a companion so he won't be alone. At first, Victor agrees, but then he changes his mind, worried about creating another monster. Furious, the creature vows revenge. He kills Victor's little brother, William, and frames an innocent girl, Justine, who is executed. A deadly chase. The creature keeps hurting Victor by killing his best friend, Henry, and even his fiancée, Elizabeth, on their wedding night. Victor's life falls apart, and he decides to hunt down the creature to destroy it. This chase leads them to the freezing Arctic, where Victor meets Walton and tells his story before dying of exhaustion. The end. After Victor's death, Walton finds the creature mourning over his creator's body. The creature feels guilty and says he'll end his own life by disappearing into the icy wilderness. The story ends with Walton heading home, leaving the creature's fate a mystery. Here's a quick look at the main people and creature in the story. Victor Frankenstein, a smart but reckless scientist who creates the creature and regrets it. The creature. Often called the monster, he's misunderstood, lonely, and turns violent after being rejected. Robert Walton, an explorer who finds Victor in the Arctic and writes down his story. Elizabeth Lavenza, Victor's kind fiancée, who becomes a victim of the creature's revenge. Henry Clerval, Victor's cheerful best friend, also killed by the creature. Frankenstein isn't just a scary story. It's full of big ideas that make you think. 1. Playing God Victor tries to act like a god by creating life, but he can't handle the responsibility. The story asks, should humans mess with nature? 2. Loneliness. Both Victor and the creature feel alone. Victor isolates himself with his work, and the creature is rejected by everyone. It shows how much we need connection. Revenge. The creature's anger leads to a cycle of violence. It's a warning about how hate can destroy lives. 4. Appearance versus reality. The creature looks terrifying but has a gentle heart at first. People judge him by his looks, not who he really is. This book is still popular today because it talks about things we face now, like science going too far. Think cloning or AI. It's also a mix of horror, sadness, and deep questions, which keeps readers hooked. For students, it's a great way to explore emotions, ethics, and storytelling. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein when she was younger than most college students. The creature isn't named Frankenstein. That's Victor's last name. The monster is just the creature. The book was one of the first science fiction stories ever written. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley is a gripping tale of a man who creates a monster and loses everything because of it. It's about ambition gone wrong, the pain of being an outsider, and the dangers of not taking responsibility. Whether you love spooky stories or big ideas, this novel has something for everyone. Next time you read it, think about Victor and the creature. Who's the real monster?